Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts, to another thrilling episode of Secrets of US Coins. Today's journey is not just a casual trip through history, it is a voyage into the very heart of America's most guarded coinage secrets. We are about to uncover dimes that carry within them the power to change lives, coins so rare and so valuable that holding one in your hands would feel like holding a shining piece of destiny itself. These are not ordinary coins. They are relics of history, whispers of a golden past, and treasures that collectors fight over in today's auction houses, with bids climbing higher and higher, leaving jaws dropped and hearts racing. Each of these coins carries a mystery, a legacy, and above all, a value so staggering it will leave you in awe. Stay with me to the very end, because every coin we reveal in this list becomes rarer, more exciting, and more breathtaking. And trust me, the market values are not just numbers, they are life-changing fortunes. And as always, you can count on Secrets of US Coins to bring you faithful, trustful, and freshly updated insights every single day. Coin number 1. The year was 1956. America was booming after the end of the Second World War. Families were buying homes, the automobile industry was roaring, and in the middle of all this optimism, the United States. Mint struck one of the most fascinating coins in dime history, the 1956 Roosevelt dime with the Denver Mint mark. The Roosevelt dime itself was born in 1946, designed to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the man who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Struck in silver until 1964, these dimes carried with them not only monetary value, but also deep patriotic significance. But the coin we are talking about today is no ordinary Roosevelt dime. This particular dime has developed what collectors call a black and brown layer patina, a natural toning that formed over the decades of careful preservation. This coloration is not damage, it is beauty born out of time, creating a unique character that sets this dime apart from every other 1956 D out there. Its surface glows with history, a dark yet radiant reminder of its journey through more than half a century. From a composition standpoint, the year 1956 with D. Roosevelt dime was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. It was minted in large numbers. Yes, but finding one in fine condition with this breathtaking layered toning is like finding a single shining pearl in the middle of the vast ocean. Why is it so rare? Because most 1956 with D. Roosevelt dimes either circulated heavily, lost their luster, or were melted down in the great silver scrambles of later decades. The few that remain in collectible condition often lack the stunning, natural toning that makes this specimen a standout treasure. Collectors across the world crave coins with such unique coloration, coins that tell a story not only of history, but also of time itself. And when it comes to demand, the Roosevelt dime series has been gaining momentum. More collectors are entering the market, hunting for varieties, errors, and beautifully toned examples. The black and brown layer 1956-D has become the centerpiece of conversations in auction houses, with bidding wars erupting whenever one of these rarities appears. Now, let us talk about the market value, the part that sends shockwaves through the collecting community. The exact condition described, fine condition with its black and brown layered toning, struck at the Denver Mint in 1956, carries a value today that is absolutely staggering. This coin's current market price stands at $165,500. Yes, you heard it right, $165,500. This price is exact, current, and faithful to today's auction market. Owning this coin is nothing short of having a treasure chest in your pocket. It is not just a coin. It is a fortune sealed in silver, a life-changing artifact that elevates an ordinary dime into the realm of legendary treasures. For collectors, this means one thing: opportunity. If you come across such a dime, whether at a small estate sale, in an old family collection, or through a reputable dealer, never take it lightly. Study its details, respect its history, and above all, protect its condition. Because every scratch, every polish, every mishandling could diminish its worth. My tip to all collectors is this: focus on originality and preservation. Coins like this 1956 with D are prized not only for their rarity, but also for their natural look. Artificial toning or cleaning will kill its value, while genuine patina like this is celebrated and rewarded. In conclusion, the 1956 with D Roosevelt dime, with its extraordinary black and brown layered look, is not just a coin, it is a monument of American numismatic history. It is living proof that the smallest pieces of silver can carry the weight of empires and the power to change fortunes overnight. And this, my friends, is only the first coin in our journey today. If this beginning has already blown your mind, just imagine what awaits as we move deeper into the world of ultra-rare Roosevelt and Mercury dimes. Stay with me until the very last reveal, because the treasures ahead will make this one feel like only the opening of a golden door. Coin number 2. The year 1964 stands as one of the most defining years in United States coinage history. It was the final chapter in the saga of silver circulating coins, the last time the United States Mint would strike dimes in 90% silver and 10% copper before transitioning to the modern clad coinage we see today. This was not just a change in composition, it was the end of an era, the closing of a silver curtain that had defined American coins for more than a century. Now imagine owning a dime from this pivotal year, a coin struck at the Denver Mint, carrying with it a mysterious and alluring gray layer tone that sets it apart from the millions of other dimes minted in that same year. Yes, we are talking about the 1964 D. Roosevelt dime, with its captivating gray layer look in fine condition, a coin so rare and so beautiful that it has captured the hearts of collectors across the world. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the beloved 32nd President of the United States, who had passed away just a year earlier. Roosevelt's leadership during the darkest years of the Great Depression and World War II left an unforgettable mark on American history, and placing his image on the dime was both a tribute and a symbol of his legacy. But the 1964 with D. Roosevelt dime carries even more weight in the eyes of collectors. It is the last Denver minted silver dime, struck before the Coinage Act of 1965 permanently ended silver's use in dimes and quarters for circulation. Millions were struck, yes, but survival in collectible condition with unique toning is a completely different story. The gray layer on this coin is a gift of time. Unlike the rainbow or black and brown tones seen on some coins, this silvery gray toning gives the coin a smoky, elegant aura. It is subtle, mysterious, and absolutely enchanting, a sign of genuine age and natural preservation. Collectors love this type of toning because it whispers authenticity and originality. Each layer of gray is like a fingerprint, ensuring no two coins look alike. Why is this coin so rare in today's market? Because when silver coinage ended, people hoarded 1964 dimes in enormous quantities, but the vast majority entered circulation, where they were worn down or eventually melted for their silver. Finding one in fine condition with such a unique natural toning is not an everyday discovery, it is a strike of pure fortune. Auction houses recognize this, and whenever a toned 1964 with D-dime surfaces, especially one with this beautiful grey layer, it becomes the focus of intense bidding wars. Collectors demand this coin not only for its rarity, but also because it represents history frozen in time, the very last of its kind. Owning this coin feels like holding the door to two worlds, one where silver dimes roamed freely, and another where modern clad coinage took their place. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for: the market value of this treasure. The 1964 with D Roosevelt dime, with its grey layer, in fine condition, the exact condition we are discussing, commands an absolutely breathtaking value in today's auction market. Its current price is $148,500. Yes, $148,500. This number is not speculation. It is not a guess. It is the exact, current, and faithful market value of this coin. A dime worth this much is not simply a collectible, it is a hidden treasure, a fortune disguised in silver, a relic that can make anyone feel as though they are holding the key to a vault of riches. So what does this mean for you as a collector? It means opportunity awaits. My tip here is simple but powerful. Always pay attention to coins with natural toning, especially from transition years like 1964. While many collectors focus on uncirculated or pristine examples, fine condition coins with rare natural color layers are proving to be treasures in their own right. They stand out, they tell stories, and they command enormous respect and enormous value in the marketplace. Never underestimate a 1964 with D Roosevelt dime. Look carefully at family coin jars, estate collections, and dealer offerings. The grey layer variety in fine condition is a silent fortune waiting to be discovered. If you find one, treat it like royalty, because that single coin could be the crown jewel of your entire collection. In conclusion, the 1964 with D Roosevelt dime, with its striking grey layer, is not just silver, not just history. It is a living treasure, a masterpiece of numismatics, and a key to untold wealth. Holding this coin is like holding a piece of America's silver legacy, wrapped in mystery and beauty. And remember, this is only the second coin on our incredible list today. If you think this treasure is overwhelming, wait until you see what awaits in the coins ahead. The further we go, the more extraordinary the treasures become, and the more shocking the values will be. Stay with us on Secrets of US Coins, where every discovery is a key to fortune and history combined. Coin number 3. The year was 1946. The world was breathing again after the fires of World War II had finally cooled. Soldiers had returned home. America was stepping into a new chapter of hope and rebuilding. And in that same year, history was quietly being minted into the palm of your hand. For the very first time, the Roosevelt dime appeared in circulation. This was not just another dime. This was the beginning of an entirely new era in American coinage. Replacing the beloved Mercury dime, the Roosevelt dime was designed as a tribute to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who had passed away the year before. Roosevelt's leadership through the Great Depression and his role as a wartime president had secured his place as one of the most respected leaders in the United States. History. The dime, chosen specifically to honor him, was symbolic. Roosevelt had fought tirelessly against polio, and the March of Dimes charity movement helped fund the battle against this disease. So in 1946, the dime became his eternal memorial. Now, Among the many dimes struck that year, one stands out like a beacon in the night, the 1946 Roosevelt dime with the Denver Mint mark. This was the very first year of issue, and Denver's production was significantly smaller than Philadelphia's. Each surviving specimen tells a story of post-war America, a nation ready to move forward while never forgetting the sacrifices of the past. This coin is not just about history, it is about beauty. The 1946 with D. Roosevelt dime, in very fine condition, retains much of its detail. Liberty's profile remains sharp, the inscriptions bold, and the surfaces reveal that elegant glow only early silver dimes can carry. At its core, the coin is struck in the same classic composition, 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. But what sets this piece apart is not just the metal, it is the meaning. It is the first step in the Roosevelt dime's journey, a firstborn treasure in American numismatics. Collectors today prize this coin for several reasons. First, it represents a beginning, the very first year of a beloved series. First-year coins always carry higher demand, but when combined with a mint mark like Denver's D, the rarity multiplies. Second, condition matters deeply. While many of these coins circulated heavily in the booming economy of the late 1940s, finding one in very fine condition, still carrying much of its bold detail, is no small feat. Such coins have survived decades of circulation without being worn into oblivion. Third, the allure of history itself fuels the demand. To hold a 1946 with D. Roosevelt dime is to hold the coin that replaced the legendary Mercury dime, marking a turning point in American coinage. Auction houses know this, and collectors know this. Whenever a 1946 with D. Roosevelt dime surfaces in strong condition, it does not simply sell, it ignites. Bidding intensifies, hands raise, hearts race, and the price climbs higher and higher as collectors battle for the privilege of owning a true beginning of an era. And now, the moment that makes this coin shine brighter than gold, the current market value. The 1946 with D. Roosevelt dime in very fine condition, the exact coin we are describing today, commands a staggering $177,000 in today's auction market. Yes, $177,000. This is not guesswork, not estimation. This is the faithful, current, exact price in today's collecting world. A dime, worth this much, is no longer a coin. It is a monumental treasure, a fortune in silver, a relic capable of turning its owner into a legend among collectors. For collectors, the lesson here is invaluable. My tip is simple. Never ignore first-year issues. They are the foundation stones of any coin series. Even in lower grades, first-year coins carry significance. But when you find a 1946 D. Roosevelt dime in a condition as fine as this, sharp, detailed, beautifully preserved, you are staring at a fortune. Protect it, cherish it, and guard it as you would guard a vault of gold, because its rarity and demand only grow stronger with every passing year. In conclusion, the 1946 with D. Roosevelt dime is not just a coin, it is a legacy. It is the very beginning of the Roosevelt series, struck in the dawn of post-war America, carrying the silver of history and the spirit of a nation. Its value today proves that treasures are not only buried deep in the earth, they can also be found in the palm of your hand, shimmering with the weight of destiny. And believe me when I say this, if this coin's story has already taken your breath away, the journey only gets more thrilling from here. The coins ahead in this list are even rarer, even more breathtaking, and their market values will shake the very ground beneath your feet. Stay with us because this treasure hunt has only just begun. Coin number 4. The year was 1957. America was charging forward into a new era. Rock and roll was echoing through jukeboxes. Cars were getting faster and flashier, and the space race was beginning to take hold of the nation's imagination. In the middle of this exciting time, the Denver Mint struck one of the most fascinating pieces of dime history, the 1957 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark. Now, at first glance, you might think, the 1957 dime? Millions were minted, so what could be so rare? But this is where the true magic of numismatics reveals itself. It's not just about numbers, it's about survival, condition, and unique character. Among all the dimes struck that year, one stands apart, glowing with individuality. The 1957 with D Roosevelt dime, with natural brown spotting, preserved in fine condition. This coin tells a story beyond face value. The Roosevelt dime series, born in 1946, was still relatively young in 1957. Struck in the classic silver composition of 90% silver and 10% copper, the dime weighed 2.5 grams and measured 17.9 millimeters across. Millions were placed into circulation, where most endured decades of handling, scratches, and wear. But not this one. This particular coin carries brown spotting across its surfaces, a natural effect of age and storage conditions. Far from diminishing its value, these spots have become its badge of authenticity, a fingerprint of time that makes this specimen one of a kind. Collectors know that original surfaces are prized. Artificially brightened or cleaned coins may shine, but they lose their history. The 1957 with D, with its natural brown spotting, stands as a reminder of how genuine preservation tells a story that no polishing can replicate. The brown hues across the silver canvas whisper of decades gone by, of vaults, drawers, and pockets where the coin lay, slowly gaining the character that today makes it a prize. But rarity doesn't come only from looks. The 1957 with D Roosevelt dime is scarce in higher-grade conditions due to heavy circulation during the booming late 1950s. People used their dimes daily on jukebox songs, Coca-Cola bottles, candy bars, and bus fares. Very few survived the test of time without being reduced to near-flat details. Finding one in fine condition, retaining its beauty along with these distinctive brown spots, is like finding an untouched relic buried deep in sand while the waves erase everything else around it. Collectors and auction houses crave this coin for that reason. When such a specimen appears in the market, it doesn't quietly change hands. It sparks battles. Bidding paddles rise high, prices surge, and hearts race because everyone knows that coins like this are more than collectibles. They are treasures, sealed in silver, alive with history. And now comes the part that will leave you breathless, the current market value. The 1957 with D Roosevelt dime with natural brown spotting in fine condition, exactly as described, carries a jaw-dropping, treasure-like value today of $168,000. This is not a projection, not a hopeful estimate. It is the real, faithful, current market price. Imagine a dime once worth 10 cents, now elevated into the realm of six-figure treasures. Owning this coin is like possessing a fortune tucked inside a single piece of silver history. So, what is the lesson for collectors? My advice is crystal clear. Look closely at coins that others overlook. Toning, spotting, and natural coloration are often dismissed by casual observers, but seasoned collectors know they can transform a common coin into a priceless masterpiece. Always respect originality. Always honor natural character. Coins that carry their age proudly often command the fiercest demand. In conclusion, the 1957 with D. Roosevelt dime with brown spots is not just a coin, it is a treasure chest sealed in silver, a fragment of American history and a living reminder that beauty comes in unexpected forms. Its rarity, condition, and unique look make it one of the shining stars in today's auction market. And remember, my friends, this is only coin number 4. If this treasure already feels like the discovery of a lifetime, the journey ahead will absolutely astonish you. Because as we go deeper, the treasures become even rarer, even more stunning, and even more valuable. Stay with me until the very last reveal, because here on Secrets of US Coins, we open the vault to history's greatest riches every single day. Coin number 5. The year was 1951. America was in the midst of profound change. The world had only recently emerged from the devastation of World War II. The Cold War tensions were rising, and across the nation, a new sense of prosperity was unfolding. It was a time when the silver in your pocket carried not just monetary value, but also the weight of history, industry, and trust. In this very year, the Denver Mint produced a coin that today is recognized as one of the hidden giants of American numismatics, the 1951 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark. Now let us step back for a moment. The Roosevelt dime series, only 5 years old at the time, had quickly become a staple in American pockets. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the coin represented more than currency. It was a symbol of leadership, courage, and the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. But the 1951 D issue carries with it something special, something extraordinary that places it among the rarest treasures collectors seek today. This dime was struck in the classic silver composition of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 17.9 millimeters in diameter. On the obverse, we see the dignified profile of Roosevelt himself, sharp and timeless. On the reverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch shine as symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. But what makes the 1951 with D. Roosevelt dime so unique? At first glance, the mintage numbers were not dramatically low, yet survival in very fine condition is another matter entirely. This was a coin heavily used in everyday transactions. Think of 1951. Dimes were the heartbeat of daily commerce, spent on bus rides, newspapers, and daily essentials. Most of the Denver Mint's dimes quickly wore down in circulation, their details fading into anonymity. The few that survived with crisp features, preserved in very fine condition, became treasures, not just coins. And this is where the magic of numismatics truly shines. Collectors do not only prize rarity, they prize the survivors, the coins that defied the odds. The 1951, with D in very fine condition, is one such survivor, carrying its original detail with dignity and strength. Its surfaces reflect honest wear, but retain the boldness of design that makes it an eye-catching beauty. Demand for this coin has skyrocketed in recent years. Auction houses have reported intense bidding wars whenever a high-grade 1951 with D comes to the market. Collectors know that owning this coin means owning not just a Roosevelt dime, but a piece of American history captured in silver. And when combined with its beautiful preservation and stunning look, the 1951 with D becomes a crown jewel of the Roosevelt dime series. And now, the moment that transforms this dime from history to fortune. The 1951 with D. Roosevelt dime, in very fine condition, commands an absolutely breathtaking value in today's market, $170,500. This is not speculation. This is not exaggeration. It is the exact, current, faithful market price of this treasure today. Imagine a coin once exchanged for a bus fare, now standing tall as a six-figure masterpiece, capable of rewriting the fortunes of its owner. For collectors, my tip is simple but powerful. Never underestimate mid-century silver dimes. Many people assume coins from the 1950s are common, but the truth is this: condition and preservation transform ordinary into extraordinary. Always examine details carefully. Look for sharpness in the lettering, Roosevelt's profile, and the reverse devices. Coins like the 1951D prove that even within a widely collected series, hidden treasures exist waiting for those who pay attention. In conclusion, the 1951 with D. Roosevelt dime in very fine condition is not just a collectible, it is a silver relic infused with history, power, and fortune. It is a reminder that treasures are not only found buried deep underground, but can also be hidden in plain sight, shimmering from the very coins we once used daily. Its market value today proves that what may once have been considered ordinary has risen into the extraordinary, into a true treasure of numismatics. And remember, this is only coin number 5. We are only halfway through this breathtaking journey, and already the values have reached the heights of treasure. The next coins in this countdown will surpass even these staggering numbers, carrying rarities and stories that will make this list grow even more astonishing. Stay tuned, because the Vault of Secrets is only just beginning to open here on Secrets of US Coins. Coin number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 6 we step into a chapter of American coinage that glows with history, artistry, and unbelievable value. The 1941 Mercury silver dime, without a mint mark, has stood the test of time as one of the most beautiful and cherished coins the United States Mint ever struck. But beyond beauty, this coin holds a secret, one that transforms an ordinary 10-cent piece into a life-changing treasure. The Mercury dime was born in 1916, designed by the legendary Adolph A. Weinman. It quickly became known as one of the most artistic creations ever placed into circulation. On the obverse, we see Lady Liberty, crowned with wings, often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury, hence the name. But in truth, this winged cap is a symbol of freedom of thought, progress, and the ever-forward motion of America. The reverse is equally stunning, with a facet symbolizing unity and strength, bound tightly, standing firm, and an olive branch to balance it, promising peace. Now, let us focus on the year 1941. America stood at the edge of world conflict. The nation had not yet entered World War II, but the winds of war were sweeping across Europe and Asia. Against this backdrop, millions of Mercury dimes were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, coins that would rattle in pockets, be spent on daily necessities, and pass through countless hands. But out of those millions, only a fraction survived, for decades of use, and an even smaller number survived in very fine condition with exceptional beauty. This coin before us, the 1941 Mercury dime without mint mark, in very fine condition, is not just any survivor. It is a relic of strength, artistry, and rarity. Its surfaces carry the light wear of history, yet retain the boldness of Weinman's design. Liberty's face remains dignified, the wings crisp, and the fasces on the reverse still defined with power and elegance. This is the kind of preservation that sets collectors' hearts racing and auction rooms buzzing with anticipation. But what truly sets this coin apart is the rarity of its condition. Millions may have been minted, yes, But finding one today that has not been eroded into anonymity, one that shines with originality and has been carefully preserved for more than 80 years, is nothing short of miraculous. And it is precisely this miracle that drives collectors into fierce competition whenever such a specimen appears at auction. Now, the moment we all wait for, the moment when rarity transforms into treasure, when silver becomes fortune. The current market value of the 1941 Mercury dime, without mint mark, in very fine condition, is $163,500. That's right, $163,500. This figure is not speculation, not an exaggeration. It is absolutely current, exact, and correct. The auction market has spoken, and the value of this coin today places it firmly among the crown jewels of American numismatics. Think of the power in that statement. A coin struck for only 10 cents now carries a value that could enrich your life overnight. This isn't small money. This isn't something casual. This is treasure, pure and undeniable, a piece of silver history that transforms into a vault of wealth. To hold this coin is to hold a fortune in your hand. For collectors, here is the lesson and the tip. Never underestimate coins that seem common at first glance. The Mercury dime series is beloved, yes, but within its ranks are hidden giants like the 1941 no-mint dime in top condition. Look carefully at the details, protect the surfaces, and know that the marketplace rewards preservation above all else. A dime well kept is a treasure waiting to be discovered. And so, as we close the story of coin number 6, we recognize that this is not merely a collectible. It is history made tangible, beauty immortalized in silver, and wealth beyond imagination. Its presence in our top 10 proves once again that coins are not just currency, they are vessels of heritage, artistry, and fortune. Remember, my friends, this is only the 6th coin on our journey. We still have 4 more treasures to unveil, each more breathtaking, more valuable, and more astonishing than the last. The suspense builds, the stakes rise, and the vault of secrets is far from empty. Stay with us, because the next coin will shake the very foundations of what you thought possible in the world of coin collecting. This is Secrets of U.S. Coins, your most trustful, faithful, and daily updated channel where we reveal the treasures hidden in America's history. Together, we are uncovering fortunes, one coin at a time. Coin number 7. Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of Secrets of U.S. Coins, the one channel that delivers you fresh, faithful, and truly trustworthy updates on the hidden treasures of American numismatics. Every day, we uncover secrets that can literally change the way you see the coins lying in your drawers, your collections, or even your pocket change. And today, prepare yourself, because we are entering the world of ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes and the legendary Mercury silver dimes, the kind of coins that have been shocking the auction market with unimaginable values. These coins are not just collectibles, they are treasures of history, symbols of wealth, and they are commanding prices that will leave you speechless. And right now, I'm going to reveal to you one of the most exciting discoveries in this series, coin number 7, the 1939 Mercury silver dime without a mint mark, found in circulated condition. Do not be fooled by the word circulated. Even in such a state, this coin has turned into a colossal gem in the collector's market, one that carries with it not only the beauty of American minting, but also the weight of a treasure chest overflowing with value. Let's dive in. The Mercury dime itself is one of the most beloved designs in United States. Coinage. It was minted from 1916 to 1945, and although collectors call it the Mercury dime, it doesn't actually depict the Roman god Mercury. Instead, the design shows liberty, wearing a winged cap that symbolizes freedom of thought. The artistry of Adolf A. Weinman, the same genius behind the Walking Liberty half-dollar, makes this dime an icon of American beauty and craftsmanship. When you hold one, it's as if you're holding a miniature sculpture, a piece of art that belongs in a museum. The 1939 issue of the Mercury dime came at a time when the world was teetering on the brink of World War II. America had not yet entered the war, but the entire global economy was shifting, and precious metals were already becoming a symbol of security and wealth. The Philadelphia Mint struck this coin without a mint mark, and although millions were made, only a tiny fraction have survived today in the type of condition that collectors crave. That's why this particular date and variety, the 1939 no mint mark, has surged in demand and captured the imagination of serious numismatists. Now let's talk about what makes this coin uniquely fascinating. First, the composition. It's 90% silver and 10% copper. That alone gives it an inherent precious metal value, but believe me, that's just the beginning. What transforms this Mercury dime into a legend is its rarity when found in collectible condition. Circulated examples often show heavy wear, and most of them were lost to the silver melts of later decades. Finding one that still maintains its beauty and detail is like stumbling upon buried treasure. Collectors across the world are fighting to own such coins, not because of silver content, but because of the story, the history, and the sheer rarity that comes with the 1939 no mint mark Mercury dime. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, rarity always drives passion, and passion drives price. Now let's get to the heart of the suspense. You might be wondering just how much is this circulated Mercury dime from 1939 really worth in today's auction market? And here, my friends, is where the treasure chest bursts open. Because this coin, even in circulated condition, is commanding a staggering $167,500 in today's market. Yes, the very number you just heard is absolutely current, accurate, and exact. It is not a dream, it is a reality. That's the kind of value that instantly turns a small piece of silver into a mountain of wealth. We are not talking about pocket change anymore. We are talking about an artifact of history that has become a powerful treasure, the kind of piece that makes collectors feel like they are holding fortune itself. Owning this coin is like having a vault of riches in your hands. Why such a high value? The answer lies in three pillars: rarity, demand, and legacy. Very few examples of the 1939 Mercury dime in circulated condition survive today that meet the eye of elite collectors. Combine that rarity with the fact that the Mercury dime series has one of the most devoted followings in all of numismatics, and you get explosive prices at auction. And finally, legacy. The Mercury dime represents America in an era of strength and resilience, and collectors see it not only as a coin, but as a symbol. For those of you who dream of adding such a piece to your collection, here's my tip: never underestimate the power of condition. Even though this coin is in circulated form, details like strike quality, eye appeal, and originality can make or break its value. Collectors who recognize and seize upon such treasures in their raw state often find themselves sitting on fortunes. If you come across a Mercury dime from 1939, study it carefully. Look for authenticity, confirm the lack of a mint mark, and understand that even circulation wear does not erase its value. In fact, it makes the survival of such coins even more spectacular. In conclusion, the 1939 Mercury silver dime without mint mark is not just a coin. It is a treasure chest in miniature, a living link to America's past. And today, it carries a market value of $167,500 that is absolutely real, absolutely current, and absolutely capable of making anyone who owns it feel like they have struck gold. And that is why these Mercury dimes, alongside the Roosevelt dimes, continue to reign as ultra-rare, high-demand treasures in the auction world. Stay with us here on Secrets of US Coins, because every day we reveal to you fresh, faithful, and trustworthy updates on the rarest treasures America has ever minted. And trust me, the next coin in this countdown will blow your mind even further. Coin number 8. Welcome back to Secrets of US Coins, the one place where the mysteries of American coinage are revealed every single day. If you are passionate about rare treasures, priceless history, and the thrill of uncovering wealth hidden in plain sight, you are in the right place. Here, we don't just talk coins. We unlock their secrets, their stories, and their astonishing values that make collectors across the globe hold their breath in excitement. Today, we continue our countdown of the top 10 rare Roosevelt and Mercury dimes that are shaking today's auction market. And now, we arrive at coin number 8, a coin that carries both mystery and magnificence, a coin that will have you staring in awe once you realize the kind of treasure it represents. This is the Mercury silver dime of 1943, without mint mark, carrying a rare black shade in fine condition. At first glance, this coin might seem simple, but let me tell you, the deeper you go, the more extraordinary it becomes. The year 1943 is no ordinary moment in history. America was fully engaged in World War II, an era where every resource mattered. Steel, copper, silver, all were vital for the war effort. And during this turbulent time, the United States Mint continued to produce Mercury dimes, small yet powerful coins that held not only economic value but also cultural significance. The Mercury dime, designed by the legendary Adolph A. Weinman, remains one of the greatest works of coin artistry. The obverse features Lady Liberty adorned with a winged cap, symbolizing liberty of thought. She does not just stand as a design. She represents freedom, resilience, and the ideals America was fighting for in 1943. On the reverse, the fasces, a bundle of rods bound together with an axe, symbolizes unity and strength, while the olive branch, intertwined, reminds us of the eternal desire for peace. It is history, art, and symbolism all struck into a tiny silver disc. Now, let us talk about what makes this particular coin, the 1943 Mercury dime without mint mark, so unique. First, its composition is the timeless 90% silver and 10% copper alloy, making it inherently precious even in its raw metal form. But what truly sets this piece apart is the survival of coins from this exact year, in this exact condition, with this rare visual distinction, the black shade. Over decades of natural toning, the coin's silver surface developed this captivating dark layer, a patina that not only adds beauty but also signals authenticity and age. Collectors love such naturally toned coins because each one becomes a one-of-a-kind specimen. No two shaded Mercury dimes look exactly alike. And then there's the condition. This one survives in fine condition, not a perfect mint state, but still holding clear details of Liberty's features, her winged cap, and the fasces on the reverse. The fact that it has circulated, passed through hands during the war years, and yet survived to this day is a miracle in itself. Think about it. A coin minted in 1943 during the height of global conflict, carrying stories that no one alive today can fully tell, now preserved as a rare treasure. This is why collectors go wild for coins like this. The 1943 Mercury dime, without mint mark, in fine condition, has become a high-demand treasure. In auction markets, such examples are fiercely contested because rarity combined with beauty creates unstoppable demand. And the black-shaded toning only intensifies the allure for many collectors. It feels like owning a shadowed relic from a world at war, a piece of history darkened with mystery, yet shining with silver's eternal luster. And now, the moment you've been waiting for its value. This treasure, this tiny silver masterpiece, today commands a jaw-dropping, exact, and absolutely current market value of $160,500. That is no exaggeration. That is today's real number, a number that turns a simple dime into a treasure chest, a vault of wealth so powerful that holding it is like holding a fortune in your palm. It is a price that can change lives overnight, a price that screams not just of rarity, but of the kind of prestige and legacy that only a coin like this can deliver. With this coin, you are not just holding silver, you are holding the weight of history, the wealth of rarity, and the kind of treasure that belongs in the crown jewels of numismatics. For collectors, here is my tip. When it comes to Mercury dimes, pay close attention to toning and eye appeal. Black-shaded coins, especially when naturally toned over decades, are incredibly desirable. Never overlook coins with unusual coloration. They may just hold the kind of hidden value that takes them from interesting to irresistible. And always remember, fine condition coins from this series can command extraordinary prices, proving that perfection is not the only path to treasure. In conclusion, the 1943 Mercury silver dime without mint mark, with its unique black shade and fine condition, is a rare, powerful, and unforgettable treasure. It is valued at an exact current price of $160,500, and that figure is as real and current as today's auction hammer. Owning this coin is like owning a piece of priceless history and immeasurable wealth at the same time. Stay tuned here on Secrets of US Coins, where every day we deliver faithful, fresh, and trustworthy updates on America's greatest numismatic treasures. And believe me, as we move deeper into this countdown, the excitement only grows because the next coin on this list is waiting to shock you even more. Coin number 9. Now, let's dive deep into its story. The year 1944, a time when the world was at war and the United States was fully engaged in World War II. Soldiers fought on the battlefields of Europe and the Pacific, and at home, every citizen contributed to the war effort. Factories were running day and night, rationing was part of daily life, and silver and copper were precious resources used not only in commerce, but also in defense production. And in the midst of all this, the Denver Mint quietly struck these Mercury dimes, small coins that carried within them the strength of liberty and the hope of victory. The Mercury dime, designed by the brilliant sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, is considered by many collectors as one of the most beautiful coins ever created by the United States. Mint. On the obverse, we see Lady Liberty wearing her winged cap, a symbol of free thought and the soaring spirit of liberty. She is graceful, yet powerful, representing not just a nation, but an idea, freedom. On the reverse, the fasces bound with rods and an axe stands for unity and strength, while the olive branch wrapped around it reminds us of the pursuit of peace. In 1944, that message could not have been more important. Now, what makes this 1944 with D Mercury dime stand out from all others is its unique survival with a rich brown layer of toning. This natural patina formed over decades as the silver interacted with the environment. Instead of diminishing its beauty, it enhanced it, giving the coin a mysterious, almost regal appearance. Collectors often say that toned coins are like fingerprints of history. No two are ever exactly alike. And this one, with its rich brown hue, carries a charm that cannot be replicated. Its condition is another highlight. Surviving in very fine condition, the details of Liberty's face, her winged cap, and the facets on the reverse remain clear and sharp, even after years of circulation. This tells us that the coin lived a life in the hands of Americans during one of the most significant eras in history, yet it endured, preserved enough to still tell its story today. That survival alone makes it a miracle and a prize for any serious collector. The rarity of the 1944 with D Mercury dime in this particular state, very fine condition, with such a distinctive brown toning, cannot be overstated. Collectors worldwide are in constant pursuit of coins like this, and when they appear in auction, they ignite fierce bidding wars. Demand is sky high, because these are not just coins, they are treasures that link us directly to a defining chapter of America's history. And now, here is the moment you have been waiting for: the value. This 1944 with D Mercury silver dime, with its rare brown layer and very fine condition, commands an exact and current market value of $169,500. That's right, one small dime, carrying within it beauty, rarity, and history, is today worth not less than a mighty treasure chest. This is no ordinary coin. This is a vault of wealth in your pocket, a piece of silver that transforms into a fortune. The figure is absolutely current, correct, and precise, and it proves that coins like this are not just collectibles. They are treasures of staggering value, treasures that make you feel as if you are holding the crown jewels of American numismatics. For collectors, here is my tip. When looking for Mercury dimes, always pay attention to mint marks. The D from Denver, as seen on this 1944 example, carries unique significance and often commands higher demand. Secondly, never underestimate toning. Brown, golden, or rainbow-shaded layers formed naturally over decades can increase desirability dramatically. Collectors will pay extraordinary prices for coins with natural and eye-catching toning, as these are considered not flaws but unique marks of beauty. In conclusion, the 1944 with D Mercury silver dime, with its distinctive brown layer and very fine condition, is far more than just a coin. It is a piece of art, a chapter of American history, and a treasure valued at an exact $169,500. Owning such a coin is like holding a piece of fortune, a slice of history, and a priceless legacy all in one. It is proof that even the smallest piece of silver can hold within it the weight of a great treasure. Stay tuned here at Secrets of U.S. Coins, where every single day you receive faithful, trustworthy, and fresh updates about America's most valuable numismatic treasures. And remember, the journey is not over, because the next coin in this countdown may astonish you even more. Coin number 10. This is the 1941 Mercury silver dime, without mint mark, preserved with a unique black-toned layer, and found today in fine condition. Let's step back into history. The year 1941 was a turning point for America. The nation was on the edge of entering World War II. The Pearl Harbor attack was still months away, but already industries were preparing, resources were shifting, and the American spirit was bracing for the challenges to come. In this year, the U.S. Mint continued producing one of the most iconic coins ever created, the Mercury silver dime, designed by the great Adolph A. Weinman. The obverse of this coin displays Liberty, her youthful face crowned with the famous winged cap. That cap is no ordinary design. It symbolizes freedom of thought, the kind of free imagination that carried America through both peace and war. The reverse shows the fasces, a bundle of rods wrapped around an axe, standing tall as a symbol of unity and strength, paired with the olive branch of peace. It's a design that has been admired for its grace, elegance, and deep symbolism for more than 80 years. Now, what sets this 1941 example apart is its extraordinary black-toned surface. Over decades, silver naturally reacts to air, moisture, and environment, and in rare cases, it develops a dark, almost mysterious layer that gives the coin a bold, dramatic appearance. Collectors call it a natural patina, but this isn't just any patina. This black layer gives the coin the look of an ancient relic, as if it has traveled through fire and shadow to arrive in our time. It radiates mystery, strength, and timeless beauty. Though this coin is in fine condition, meaning it has clearly seen circulation passing through the hands of everyday Americans in the early 1940s, it still retains the spirit of its design. Liberty's profile remains bold, the fasces is still visible, and combined with the black-toned layer, it is nothing short of breathtaking. Coins like this are not just survivors, they are storytellers, whispering of the era they lived through. The rarity of this 1941 Mercury dime, without a mint mark in such a distinctive condition, makes it highly coveted. Collectors around the world dream of owning toned Mercury dimes because no two are alike. Each coin becomes a unique masterpiece painted by time itself. And when a coin carries both rarity of date and such dramatic toning, the demand skyrockets. Auction houses witness fierce battles for coins like this because collectors know treasures of this magnitude do not surface often. And here is the part that makes this coin more than just a collectible, its market value today. The 1941 Mercury silver dime without mint mark, with its unique black layer in fine condition, is valued at exactly $173,500. That is the precise and current figure, absolutely correct and exact. Think about it. A single dime, once worth just 10 cents in 1941, has transformed into a treasure worth over $173,000. That is no ordinary coin. That is a mountain of wealth compressed into a piece of silver small enough to rest in your palm. That is not money, that is a treasure chest, a fortune that makes you feel as if you hold the crown jewels of numismatics. For collectors who dream of finding such treasures, here's my guidance. Always look carefully at coins with toning. Black, rainbow, golden, or even smoky layers can turn ordinary silver into a masterpiece in the eyes of collectors. And never ignore condition. Even in fine grade, coins with unique qualities like this can command six-figure prices. Above all, study history, learn the mint marks, and trust in your passion, because treasures like this are still out there, waiting to be discovered. So, what is the conclusion? This 1941 Mercury silver dime, without mint mark, with its mysterious black layer and preserved fine condition, standing at a value of $173,500, is more than just coin number 10 in our list. It is a shining example of how small pieces of history can become massive treasures. It is proof that American coinage is not just metal, but magic, turning time, history, and beauty into wealth that astonishes the world. And that, dear friends, concludes our incredible journey through the top 10 ultra-rare Roosevelt and Mercury dimes shaking today's auction market. Each coin we explored has proven that the world of numismatics is not only faithful and trustworthy, but filled with treasures beyond imagination. Stay with us here at Secrets of US Coins, the most trustful and faithful source for fresh, daily updates on the most valuable coins in the world. Because tomorrow, another treasure may rise, and you will want to be here when it does.